Hey y'all, happy Monday. Monday? Happy Monday. Welcome to our asynchronous recorded lesson for today. Y'all, it's the last Monday of April. I can't believe by the end of the week we'll be in May, but we will be y'all, we only have 4 more weeks together. The last day of school is 4 weeks from tomorrow. But don't worry, we're not stopping. We're going to make the most out of these 4 weeks. We're going to have some fun learning about new skills, review some of our skills we learned at the beginning of the year, and hopefully end the year with a couple of projects. But today, we are going to have a crash course in the coordinate plane. What a crash course is just a high-speed, rapid-fire, what is this, how does it work, goal and work. So we've got a lot jam-packed into our lesson today. But as always, I want to start us off with a problem. So here's the problem for us today. Well, and I am a little bit out of space there. There we go. So a landscaper, somebody who's planting plants, is planting some marigolds, which are a type of flowers, in a row, so in a line. The row is 2 yards long. We remember from past years that a yard is 3 feet, so the row is 2 groups of 3 feet long. And that's just to help you visualize it, but the row is 2 yards long. The flowers must be spaced 1/3 of a yard apart so that they will have the proper room to grow. The landscaper plants the first flower at 0. Place points on the number line to show where the landscaper should place the other flowers. How many marigolds will fit on the row? So a couple of important things. The row is 2 yards long, and each of them must be 1/3 of a yard apart, and the first flower is at 0. So I want you to draw your own number line. This one has 18 dots between each yard, but you don't have to necessarily do that, but you do want to start at 0, make sure you have a 1 and a 2 somewhere on your number line. But I want you to take on this problem, and let's come back together in just a little bit, and we can talk it through. So go ahead, go forward, pause this video, solve this problem, and come back, and we will talk it through. All right, y'all, let me pull out my notes here from what I did on this one right here. Pull this out. So I knew we had 2 yards in our row. The flowers must be 1/3 of a yard apart. And the first flower is at 0. So I drew my number line from 0 to 2. And I knew since each had to be 1/3 of a yard apart, I had to split my number line into thirds. So I put 2 dots between each whole number. Label it 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, 4/3, 5/3, and 6/3. So I was quick to think my answer might be 6, that we could fit 6 flowers. But then I remembered, hey, that first flower has to be at 0. So while 0 is not a traditional number that we think of meaning something, it is really important in this case because our first spot where we're starting with that first plant absolutely counts. So then I added a dot there, and I counted, and I saw that I had 7 total dots, so they could fit 7 plants. I'm gonna have to send this problem to my dad and my dad's fiance because they are landscapers. They do a lot with plants, and I think he would enjoy this. So I'm gonna send a picture of this after our class today off to him to see if he can solve it. So I am super thrilled because today we get to talk about some number lines. So there's some important things for us to think about our number lines. Number lines, and these are some things we've talked about. You probably recognize some number lines in 3rd grade, 4th grade, maybe even before that. But number lines have numbers. Timelines are a kind of number line, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. You can split up number lines into different units. You can do halves, thirds, 25ths if you wanted. Or you could do the opposite and count by numbers bigger than 1. So like in this number line down here, we count by 10s. And they never stop. So thinking about a timeline, our timelines never stop. There's always another day moving forward. right? Our timeline wouldn't stop in 2021 just because that's where we're at. There's going to be another year after that. So timelines never stop, which means our number lines never stop. Even though what we capture is only a piece of it. We represent our number lines with arrows on the end because they really, in reality, go on forever in both directions. Now, if we include 0 on a number line, well, we still have an arrow going that way because you'll learn about negative numbers in the future. So we always have arrows on both ends of our number lines. So here we have 3 number lines I want to look at. All 3 of these, A, B, and Q, why Q? Because it makes it a little bit more fun, are completely awesome number lines. What we notice is none of these number lines go from left to right, going from smaller numbers to bigger numbers horizontally. This number line goes up diagonally. This number line is vertical, and this number line goes from right to left. It's also important that we notice only one of these goes by ones. The other one, this one goes by tenths, and this one goes by tens. All of these are awesome ways to provide number lines. All of them have a different purpose. We might not know what that purpose is, why we're going by tenths here vertically, or by tens from right to left. But they're all very accurate number lines. So there is a word that we need to write down. And that word is right here. It is the origin. And I want you to think about the word origin and think about what it sounds like. The mathematical definition for our purposes right now are the point 0 on a number line. So if we had a number line, it'd be where 0 is. So write this down in your notes so you'll be able to reference this during our asynchronous times this week or on Friday when we get all back together. Origin is the point 0 on a number line. And I also want you to think about the word origin. What does that sound like? Where have you heard that before? Well, if you're like me, that kind of sounds like original. And original is something that is the first of its kind, the beginning, the first one. Or if you hear the origin story of a comic book character, that is how they came to be. And that helps you remember in math that the origin is the point 0 on the number line. But we're also going to spend some time today front-loading, and front-loading just means getting ready for the rest of our week today. We're going to start talking about coordinate planes, which not only go left and right, they are a second part that goes up and down. And so the second definition of origin is the point 0, 0, and that's how we write points when you have a coordinate plane going both ways. The point 0, 0 on a coordinate plane. So up next, I'd like you to draw a number line from 0 to 6. And I'm going to move mine over here, and I'm going to draw my number line. It can be any direction you want. It can be as big spaces as you want, as small spaces as you want. But we're just going to practice plotting points, and that just means drawing points on a number line. So we've got our number line. And we always start at 0. Let's say that again. When we are plotting points, we always start at 0. So if we want to plot a point, and we're going to call this point A, so we're just going to label this point A. I'm going to draw a dot and write an A. On a point that is 2 units away from the origin, we'll start at 0, go 1, 2. Oh, look at that! We ended up at the point 2. Now I want you to draw a point, plot the point called G at a spot that is 5 units away from the origin. Okay, I'm going to cover mine while I do mine. Plot your point called G 5 points away from the origin. All right, so I started at 0 and I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I ended at 5. Now our last point, we're going to do a point called H. And I want you to put H 3 units away from the origin. So 3 units away from the origin. Label it H. Check your work against mine. I'll reveal mine in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Okay. Now there are 2 things that are super important that we talk about today that will help us get ready for this week. It is important that we write these down so that we will have these all week long, especially as we're working. It's a TCAP week, so our asynchronous days are going to be more independent than usual. So our first thing, we always move left or right first. And I'm going to underline the word right because in 5th grade we are just going to move right and up. We're not going to go left or down. But I'm going to read this again. We always move left or right first. Then we move up or down. I'm going to underline up because we are only moving up in 5th grade. Now next year, in 6th grade, you'll move down, you'll move left if you get into negative numbers. But this year, we don't have to do that. Okay. So far, so good. So far, so good. All right. So you're probably saying, Mr. Spencer, why are we worrying about up or down when we haven't seen this yet? Well, we're going to go through a couple of points here. And they're going to look strange because they are up and down. And left and right. So I'm about to show you what is called a coordinate plane. Here's our coordinate plane. So we have what looks like a number line down here. And if we turned it sideways, this would look like our normal number line right here. Now, our origin is right here in the corner, and the origin, we remember, is just the point 0. Or, as you're about to see, is 0, 0. And I'm going to put each of my spaces 2 lines apart so that we can see everything. So this looks just like our number lines that we've always seen. And I bet y'all have all seen a thermometer before. And the thermometer usually hangs up and down. And here it is, it's a vertical number line. It's going up and down. And it works the same way. So we're going to go 1, 2. You don't need to write this down. We're just going to listen and pay attention to this today. We'll start plotting our own points tomorrow on our asynchronous day. I'm going to try really hard to talk and also not miss any numbers. All right, so I'm going to try and slide that so we can see everything all at once and me. There we go. So we have our horizontal number line that goes from 0 to 10. And then we have a vertical number line that also goes from 0 to 10. And we have these things called ordered pairs that look just like this. And all it is saying we have our first number and our second number. Now we remember, we said this, and it's one of the few things we have to memorize this year in 5th grade math. We always move left or right first, and then we move up or down. So that first number is going to be how far right do we move? Well, we move 2 spots. Where do we start? Absolutely, we always start at 0, so we go 1 spot, 2 spots, right. And then we are going to go from where we just landed, and then we're going to ask ourselves, how far up do we go? Well, it's right here. It's the second number. We're going to go up 3 spots. 1, 2, 3. We put a dot there. We're going to label it with the same ordered pair here, 2, 3. Now what you notice is, hey, that first number, oh, I messed that up, y'all, so sorry. It is actually right there. I'm going to cross that out. It is right here. You can tell if I use our thermometer as a ruler and draw straight down, we have landed on 2. And if I draw straight to the left, we've landed on 3. So that ordered pair, or that point is called 2, 3. We're going to try another one. And again, we're just watching this today. We will do it on our own tomorrow. Maybe the next one that is 4, 6. So again, that 4 comes first, and we always move left or right first. We're going to always start at 0. We go right 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we go up 6 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that point right there is 4, 6. What it's saying is we move 4 spots to the right, and then we move 6 spots up. We'll go right, and then up. Right, and then up. Think about it like this, that may help you remember. If you think of a basketball court, and you start on one end, and you're trying to make it to the goal way up there, you have to move left or right on the court before you can shoot up. Because if you start way down here at the end of the court, you're not going to be able to shoot all the way up. So you're going to have to move right and then go up. That helps me remember it. Now, something else you might have heard of that I'm just going to mention right now. Our horizontal number line, that's the one going across left to right, we call that X. And our vertical number line, the one going up and down, we call Y. You're going to see those later this week, so I just wanted to have us think about that. But these will help us going forward this week. What we're going to expect, this is another funky week with some TCAP testing. Tomorrow, which is Tuesday, we are going to practice plotting some points on our own. On Wednesday or Thursday, whichever your asynchronous day is, Wednesday if you're a virtual student, Thursday if you're in person, because of course the other day you'll be testing. We are going to do a day of mathematical thinking and self-evaluation, as well as looking at patterns in our real life. And then on Friday, we're going to continue on with this all together in our synchronous class. So tomorrow on Tuesday, we'll have a little mini lesson about plotting points, take a few notes together, and then we'll practice that as well. Wednesday or Thursday, we're spending some time thinking about math and thinking about what we've done ourselves all year. And then Friday, we're going to continue on with this. Awesome. Y'all, this is where I'm going to leave you for today. Have an awesome day. If you need anything at all, just let me know. I love y'all, and I'll see you soon. Bye, y'all.